We're going to move on to journalist Andy No. He has been attacked again, brutally again this time. We can bring up an article here that Eric was kind enough to send over from the Washington Examiner, who's generally pretty good, I think. Journalist Andy No says masked Antifa mob attacked him in Portland again, baying for my blood. So to my understanding, Eric, he went in disguise to cover Antifa as he usually does. They uncovered his mask. They chased him to a hotel where he was hiding. And there's video, I believe. He was hiding behind a desk, and they were threatening him, banging on the windows, and eventually police had to come and protect him. It's the long and short of it. And then Tim Pool came out and was saying, basically victim mentality for you here. You shouldn't be going out if you know you're going to be attacked like that. What's the point? He says, what's purpose was served by trying to infiltrate Antifa? Some journalists can't cover certain topics. Women were barred from reporting from Tahrir by some outlets due to violence against women specifically. So basically, in my eyes, he's saying you shouldn't be doing wartime reporting. You shouldn't be doing anything that's dangerous. And a lot of people chimed in. Elad from Barely Informed with Elad.
Yeah, what does Elad have to say there?
Instead of pointless and stupid, I think you mean courageous and dedicated. Andy's coverage is invaluable. When journalists are killed by terrorists, we don't insult them. We praise them for their commitment. Also, easy to say this stuff when you retire to the studio. I don't know if Tim's confused, but half his show is using footage from the ground reporters who regularly get threatened and attacked. And he wasn't the only one. Caitlin Bennett came out here, says she shouldn't have been wearing a skirt and been walking down that alley. Tim Pool really didn't like that one. He quote tweeted that and made fun of her. Elijah Schaefer, which somebody liked. I don't know who that was. Look, I have a hard time reporting for similar reasons. It's dangerous. I mean, yeah, Elijah's been to Seattle and Portland and to the Chaz zones. And to say that, you know what, Elijah, you deserve to have that Molotov thrown in your direction or punched is silly to me. Styx Hexenhammer, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. The guy who wears a leather jacket, never wears a shirt, but he's pretty popular. He's got 82,000 followers there. But Tim, all Andy has to do is exist to be attacked. Antifa have attacked other people, sometimes sympathetic to leftism, just looking for vaguely him. Yeah, there's an Asian guy that they once attacked because they thought he was Andy No, and it wasn't. And while I'm going to bring up the Andy No's actual story here, Leonardo DiCaprio, why don't you give us what are your thoughts on this? Right, wrong, who's right in this situation?
I mean, I was going to make a joke. I was going to say, like, how many times does Andy No want to get wrecked by Antifa? But I, like, at this, if nobody's doing the job and he's the one who's doing the job, then somebody's got to report on what's happening. Would I do it? I don't know. This guy's really sacrificing himself a lot. You know what I mean? Like, if beat me up once, beat me up twice, I'm out of here, Is Tim Pool right to say that? No, he's not right to say that. He's not, because that's his job. It's like, the person's response goes, you shouldn't have been wearing that skirt. Exactly right. These guys should be dealt with. They shouldn't be like, well, don't go around them. I mean, what kind of lunacy are we in? Are we living in, like, they're talking about how women weren't allowed to report on this radical Islamic group, I take it. Yeah. What are we now? We're Iraq? We're Iraq now? Is that what you're saying, Tim? That's crazy.
And I think
Eric, yeah, go ahead.
Well, as you know, as a frequent viewer of Tim's show, I think it's pretty, I don't know if it's ironic for him, because, I mean, for years he's talked about not bending the knee and not capitulating to the left, and then Andy gets beat up and he's like, you shouldn't have been there. It's like, okay, like, and on top of that, on top of sort of the maybe a little bit of hypocrisy on Tim's part, it's like he literally makes videos every single day about standing up and suing businesses that force race stuff on you and force you to get the jab and all sorts of things. Outside of just saying, well, you shouldn't have been there, and that little bit of hypocrisy, I think they are both being a little bit emotional here, right? Like, I don't know if you guys saw Tim's video that he, not his regular YouTube videos, but his thing that he posted on Instagram, where he's like doing a little selfie video about how that was silly of Andy and Andy shouldn't have been there. It was very emotional. And Andy was on Laura Ingraham, also fairly emotional. Now, Andy No is kind of like, no shade. I like Andy. He does good work, but he's he's a little soft, right? Like he's kind of soft, and he's like, well, you know, I've been reporting on Antifa since 2012, and he's got his like.
He does
weird
not
little,
have a British accent.
he does have like a weird gay British accent, but that's not the point. The point is, Tim, I think, was wrong and kind of hypocritical to say that, but I also think that they were both acting a little bit emotionally.
Terry, buddy. Terry, here's your words. Here's your words.
I was murdered.
You were murdered. Okay, you obviously weren't murdered because you're alive and you're basically intact. You weren't murdered, buddy. You weren't murdered, buddy.